Imagine boarding a plane for a routine flight. Sending one last message to your family. Finding your seat. Watching the cabin crew prepare for departure. Thinking about the plans waiting for you at your destination. A business meeting. A vacation. A reunion. A new beginning. Everything feels normal. Everything feels safe. Then imagine this. Hours later. Nobody knows where you are. Not the airline. Not the military. Not the government. Not even the people searching for you. You simply disappear. No distress call. No emergency signal. No confirmed crash site. No explanation. Just silence. A silence that would become one of the greatest mysteries in aviation history. This is the story of Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370. The plane that vanished. And a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. March 8, 2014. Kuala Lumpur International Airport. It was late at night. Passengers slowly boarded Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370. The destination was Beijing, China. On board were 239 people. Passengers from different countries. Students. Business travelers. Families. Crew members. People with dreams. People with plans. People who believed they would arrive safely within a few hours. The aircraft itself was a Boeing 777. One of the safest passenger jets ever built. Millions of people had flown on similar aircraft. Nothing appeared unusual. The weather was good. The aircraft was operating normally. The crew was experienced. Everything seemed routine. At 12:41 a.m., MH370 took off. The plane climbed into the darkness. Everything was proceeding exactly as expected. Air traffic controllers monitored the flight. Pilots communicated normally. Passengers relaxed. Some watched movies. Others slept. Nobody had any reason to worry. Then, 40 minutes later, something happened. Something that would change aviation history forever. At 1:19 a.m., the cockpit transmitted a routine message. A message so ordinary that nobody paid attention to it at the time. Good night. Malaysian 370. Those would become some of the most famous words ever spoken by an airline crew. Because seconds later, the aircraft disappeared from civilian radar. Just like that. Gone. At first, nobody panicked. Radar contact can occasionally be lost. Communication issues happen. Controllers expected the aircraft to reconnect shortly. But it never did. Minutes passed. Then more minutes. Still nothing. MH370 failed to make contact with the next control center. Something was wrong. Very wrong. As concern began to grow, investigators uncovered something unexpected. Military radar had detected the aircraft. And according to that radar, MH370 had not continued toward Beijing. Instead, it appeared to turn around. A complete change of direction. The aircraft was now heading back across Malaysia. Why? Nobody knew. There was no distress call. No emergency declaration. No explanation from the pilots. Nothing. Imagine seeing that on a radar screen. A massive passenger jet suddenly changing course in the middle of the night. Without telling anyone. Without asking for help. without a single warning. The mystery was only beginning. As investigators analyzed radar data, the aircraft's movements became even stranger. MH370 appeared to fly across the Malaysian peninsula, then out toward the Andaman Sea. And then it vanished again. This time completely. No radar. No communication. No confirmed location. Only questions. And those questions quickly spread across the world. News channels interrupted programming. Families rushed to airports. Governments launched investigations. Search teams mobilized. Everyone wanted the same answer. Where was MH370? At first, search efforts focused on the South China Sea. It seemed logical. That was the route the aircraft was supposed to follow. Ships searched the water. Aircraft scanned the horizon. Experts studied every piece of available information. But they found nothing. No wreckage. No debris. No oil slick. Nothing. Days passed. Then weeks. Still nothing. For a modern airliner carrying 239 people, this made no sense. Large aircraft do not simply disappear, especially in the age of satellites, radar, GPS, and advanced tracking systems. Yet MH370 had done exactly that. Or so it seemed. Then investigators made a discovery that shocked the world. Although the aircraft had vanished from radar, it had continued communicating with a satellite system. Not through messages. Not through voice transmissions. But through tiny electronic signals known as handshakes. These signals suggested something incredible. MH370 had continued flying for hours after disappearing. Hours. Not minutes. Hours. That revelation completely changed the investigation. The plane had not crashed immediately. It had traveled far beyond its expected route. Somewhere over a vast ocean. Somewhere in the darkness. Somewhere nobody could see. Investigators used the satellite data to estimate possible flight paths. After months of analysis, one conclusion appeared most likely. MH370 had headed south, toward the remote Indian Ocean. One of the most isolated places on Earth. A place where thousands of square miles of ocean contain almost nothing. No islands. No ships. No people. Just endless water. If the aircraft had gone down there, finding it would be incredibly difficult. Yet the search continued. Countries from around the world joined the effort. Ships crossed huge sections of ocean. Aircraft flew countless missions. Underwater drones scanned the seafloor. Millions of dollars were spent. Then tens of millions. Then hundreds of millions. It became one of the largest search operations in history. Still, the ocean refused to reveal its secrets. Months became years. Families waited. Investigators searched. The world watched. And MH370 remained missing. Then finally, a breakthrough. In July 2015, more than a year after the disappearance, a piece of aircraft debris washed ashore on Réunion Island, located in the Indian Ocean. Experts examined it carefully. The conclusion was clear. The debris belonged to MH370. For the first time, there was physical evidence. Proof that the aircraft had indeed ended up in the Indian Ocean. More debris would later be discovered. Pieces of wings. Fragments of aircraft structure. Scattered across distant coastlines. Yet despite these discoveries, the main wreckage remained missing. The flight recorders remained missing. And the most important question remained unanswered. What actually happened on board? Over the years, many theories emerged. Some believed a catastrophic mechanical failure occurred. Others suggested a fire. Some suspected hijacking. Others believed deliberate actions by someone on board. Each theory explained certain details, but none explained everything. Every answer seemed to create new questions. And that is what makes MH370 so fascinating. Not just the disappearance, but the mystery, the uncertainty, the fact that after all these years, nobody can say with complete confidence what happened. Think about that. A Boeing 777. One of the largest passenger aircraft in the world. Carrying 239 people. Vanishing in the modern age. And remaining one of the greatest unsolved mysteries ever recorded. More than a decade later, families still seek answers. Investigators still debate possibilities. And search efforts continue to be discussed. Because until the wreckage is found, the mystery remains alive. Somewhere beneath the waters of the Indian Ocean, the final answers may still be waiting. Hidden in darkness. Silent. Undisturbed. Holding secrets that the world has been trying to uncover for years. Perhaps one day, those secrets will finally be revealed. Perhaps one day, the world will know exactly what happened to Flight MH370. But until that day arrives, MH370 remains one of aviation's greatest mysteries. A flight that departed normally. A flight that should have arrived safely. A flight carrying 239 people. And a flight that simply disappeared. If you enjoyed this documentary and want more mysteries, disasters, survival stories, and unbelievable true events, don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to Veridox Media. And turn on notifications so you never miss our next documentary. Because sometimes, the most terrifying mysteries are the ones that remain unsolved. Thanks for watching.